Thank you, Savas. Another round of applause for Savas, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker is Artemis Evangelidi. Now, round of applause. Yeah. So, you know, nowadays, there are different definitions of leadership. And Artemis believes in conscious leadership. Is that right, Artemis? Our conscious leadership, right? Yeah. So, what's the definition of a great leader? One definition by Richard Boyajian is the following. Great leaders are awake, aware, attuned to themselves, to others, and to the world around them. They commit to their beliefs, stand strong in their values, and live full, passionate lives. The important thing here is the self-awareness with these leaders. So awake, aware, and attuned is coming from the self-awareness and also social awareness and self-management. Now, Artemis has recently written a book which will be published next year, and it's about creating conscious people and leaders around the world, and it's called Life Thoughts That Make the World Go Round. Keep an eye out, it's coming out next year. Now, round of applause. I'm also trying to do this freestyle after Saba told us to do it, you know, just without any notes. So, and Artemis is a holistic business lawyer. She's the founder and managing director of Aipeia Consulting in Nicosia. She's an amazing woman. We reconnected earlier on this year, at the beginning of the year. We had lost touch for about 6. We worked together at a previous company. And I'm very honored and proud to welcome to the stage Artemis Evangelidi. No?
That's okay. Is this on? Is it working?
Intro?
Yeah, you can hear me? Yeah? No? No? Now can you hear me? Yeah? Great. Thank you very much for the introduction, Walid. And like every self-respecting lawyer, I have a lot to say, but I only have 8 minutes to say it in, so. So how many of you are aware of your power as change agents? Anyone? Okay, a few. How many of you are aware of the effect that your actions are having on the world around you? Really? That's all? Okay. Well, then my speech is, I think, very, very appropriate. So if you're not aware of these two crucial things, then the time has come to really step up and into your power. Each and every one of us is impacting the field around us every millisecond of every day simply by existing. Our actions and our thoughts, our reactions and responses are not experienced in a vacuum. They are experienced in this quantum field of energy that we call life. And everything that we put out into this field ripples along and nudges something else sitting next to it. And why does this matter? Well, unless you're a hermit, which you're not because you're all here, then you need to understand the impact that you are having around you. And you have the power to bring about much needed change to this world. I'd like to share with you a little story. It's the early 1960s. There's no internet, there's no Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just radio and maybe TV if you're lucky. 2 boys write a song. They play it to their other band members, and then they go and they play it at their local pub. It was a bit of a shift from the traditional music of the time. It was actually quite groundbreaking. But the boys did what they did because it pleased them, and it was their particular sound. And as it turns out, it also pleased the people at the pub. And somehow the word got out, and more people came to see them. And with them came a music store owner. And he was completely inspired, and his world was turned upside down, listening to these boys because he could see the brilliance that was radiating from them. So he approached them and asked if they'd be willing to have him as their manager and to help them spread their groundbreaking sound to the world. He was so inspired that everyone he took them to was also inspired. And before too long, they recorded their first single. And it skyrocketed in the charts, and suddenly this little band was known across the country, and before too long, across the world. Why? Because they changed the course of music. They inspired and evoked emotions unlike anyone had ever done before, because they were driven in their love for what they did and their goal to be the best at it. They were true revolutionaries. They created a sound for themselves that would make them legends through to the present day. And even though they were only together for 7 years, they wrote 13 albums where they wrote all the music and all the lyrics themselves. They toured the world time over again and again and became the voice of a generation and for many generations to come. They are the best-selling band in the history of music. They have had more #1 singles in the UK and the USA than anyone before. They created electric rock, they created pop, they created psychedelic music, and even heavy metal. They twisted and combined their sounds and created brilliance. And the world really did revolve around them. They were the Beatles. And why do they matter to us? Because they are proof of how our creative ideas and their implementation have the power to change the world. And you don't even need the internet to do it. They are proof of how to value your gifts and never underestimate yourself, your power, your influence, and your purpose. And we are all here with a purpose. We have come to do something on this little ball floating in space that we call Earth. And we have a choice: implement our purpose and do good, or try to implement it without really knowing who we are and what we're here for, and end up doing not so good. Either way, you need to understand that everything you do has an effect on the world around you. Now, I'm a holistic business lawyer, and my purpose is to change the world through the creation of conscious businesses. One person, one leader, one business at a time. And lucky for me, that means that I'm not stuck in an office churning out piles of contracts all the time, sometimes. I am actually connecting with my clients at a higher level, because I figured out something that a lot of other business lawyers haven't even turned their mind to. Businesses do not operate in a vacuum. Whether you are an employee or a manager or a business owner, this all applies to you in the same way. Who you are impacts your field, including your workspace. There is no way to be happy at work if you are not happy within. There is no way that you can build a successful business if you don't know how to be a successful leader, and you can't be a successful leader if your headspace isn't in order. And there is no way that you will be respected if you do not respect the environment around you. And tell me, how can you be inspirational if you do not believe in the power of your teams? So by spending time to work on you, to really work on you, and to give yourself the tools that you need to become better in every single way possible, is the only way to move forward and to excel in everything that you set your mind to. And the better you become, the better your business becomes, and the better the world around you. And how do we become better people, better leaders, better change agents? We start with the basics. Take responsibility for everything that you think, say, and do. Forget blame, and don't think that everyone is out there to get you. You are in control, and you are in charge. Become mindful of everything that is going on around you. Focus your awareness so that you're awake and living in the present moment. Think of yourself as a winner because you are a winner. You are not a victim. and act with integrity always. This is your mantra. There is never a means justify the ends mindset. Acknowledge that you are always learning. You are always in the middle of a lesson. So there is no room for arrogance because you really don't know it all unless you're a yogi and you're hiding in here amongst us. Honesty is your second mantra and it's non-negotiable. Let your ego take a back seat. Accept that everyone has the freedom to have their own opinions and their own perception of reality. And if it doesn't fit in with your reality, that's okay. It's not a personal affront to you. Learn to broaden your views and show respect to others. Do not be afraid to be brave and courageous. It is what will propel you forward. Show gratitude, always. It's been mentioned by all the speakers. It is a vibe that transforms everything it touches, and the more that you feel gratitude, the more you will have to be grateful for. Understand that your impact is felt at every level. Physical, body, environment, people around you, and spiritual, your soul. And finally, and most importantly, act from a place of love. Love is a power that trumps it all, and you can use it in every interaction, no matter where you are or who you are with. And when you realize that love actually forms the basis of everything that you do, you will understand that it is the driving force behind every conscious person. As Wayne Dyer says, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. When you start to think in this way, you will start to transform yourself and the world around you, because this change in you, in your energy and your being, will influence the field. And people will be attracted to you and all that you stand for. And they will follow you and what you believe in. And slowly, you will begin to change the world, much like the Beatles. We each have this power. Isn't that amazing? This is the beauty of life. And so yes, in this way, the world does revolve around you. And because I'd like to end this note on a high vibration, with the highest vibration that there is a song I'd like to play for you before we have our break. And if you really listen to the words, you will understand that this song is in fact the master key, unlocking everything it is that you need to know. And because I am sure you all know it, I want you all to sing along if you feel like it. I want you to tap into your inner hippie and enjoy. Thank you.